Hey, 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 what's up, gamers? Welcome to another episode of Painting Happy Little Minis. We're here at the Game Trade Media Studios in Timonium, Maryland. I'm Rick.
And I'm Dave.
And we are going to continue our paint/builds of the Star Wars Legion miniature game by Fantasy Flight Games.
Yep, all of the Wave 1 stuff that we're working our way through.
Yes.
So as you can see here, we've got the AT-ST.
And I have the Airspeeder. It's the, what is it, the T-47 Airspeeder.
Yep.
So it's a pretty awesome thing. So today we're going to build them.
We're going to build these two things, yeah.
Yes.
We certainly won't be painting them in an hour.
I might be able to get to mine if I were to rush out and after I build it and spray it. But I only have like 5 pieces.
Yeah, you do. That's nice. Mine's a little bit more complicated.
A little bit.
A little bit, just
Yeah.
a touch.
So
All good. Should we jump straight in?
yeah. Get all the boxes out the way.
Yep.
Yes. So you guys can see all the things.
Excellent. Oh, I'll also point out that since last week, while you were off enjoying yourself in New York City at Toy Fair.
At Toy Fair, yes.
I built some, well, I didn't build, I sort of finished painting some toys and based them. So we now have 9 of our initial 14 from the core box Stormtroopers finished. So we're pretty stoked about that.
Yes.
We have another, so 9, 21, ooh, we have another 12 to finish. All up for all of the Wave 1 stuff. Because that's that other box that we have.
Okay.
We should take the Stormtrooper count up to 21.
Nice.
So yeah, definitely cool. But,
So I'm putting the pedestal on the base here for the Airspeeder, and that's as far as this part is going to go today, because we're going to go ahead and put the flocking glue, or what's it called? What do you call that glue?
oh, we're just going to, just some PVA glue.
PVA glue, and base it with some of the sand and everything.
Yep. So that we can end up doing something like that. So that we did this with the speeder bikes, and zoom in there. There we go. The overhead shot. So yeah, just glued the sand down around the base of the flight stand, and then wrapped some tape around it to
prevent it from getting all
getting the white primer on it.
Yeah.
So we'll do the same thing with that one.
Absolutely. All right, so put that out the way. Cool. Yeah, my vehicle only has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 pieces so to add to it, and then it's pretty much put together.
I've got a few more.
Yeah.
It's a bit
4, 6, 8, 10, 12, like 16, like 4 more pieces.
4 more pieces. Yeah, there are 10 stages to the build.
Is there? I have 2.
Yeah, you have 2. Good job. Good job. Okay.
Hey, you actually have stage build. I only have. Look, it's right there.
Here's the assembly.
Yeah, that's what I get. That's what I get right there.
Good job.
Pretty funny. There's no stages. It's just this all goes there.
Yeah.
It's it. It's like 2 stages, period.
Normally, I like to make things up as I go along when I'm building.
Yeah.
But for this one, because it's going to end up in the hands of somebody else,
Yeah.
I think I'm actually going to go and follow the
Instructions.
pretty closely.
Weird.
I know. It's terrible, isn't it? But thankfully, all the pieces are really nice and neat, and they slide in nice and easily. So just a little bit of glue is going to keep them together. But
it's kind of funny too. Is you almost don't need to glue some of these together. You know, they just because they are so easily just put in.
Yep. Great push fit kind of models.
Yeah.
But hopefully these will see a lot of gaming time.
I hope they do. Yes.
So we want to have them nice and sturdy for that. Okay, so
I'm going to share this real quick
part on the leg there.
into the Star Wars Legion Facebook group.
Okay. Next piece. This comes under here. Now, I'm not going to put any glue around here just yet, but I will put some glue up the front. This around this post. So I'm going to push this in. still rotate this. Yep. So at the moment, we still want to have the flexibility with the feet, and we'll probably want to have that flexibility with the knees as well,
right,
so that we can get a really cool pose. Because I've seen them, you can have them down quite low,
okay,
sort of sitting low, or you can have them standing up quite tall.
Oh, okay.
So we'll have a little bit of a flexibility. Hopefully, maybe the people in the chat can let us know whether we should go for the short or the tall. It's pretty imposing either way, but
right?
Yeah. Absolutely cool. Check that out.
Ta-da.
Maybe we will be finished early. Let's see.
All right. T-7 Speeder from, I gotta write this all in here, Star Wars Legion.
Cool. So, while you're typing away there, I am going to ask, what cool things did you see at Toy Fair?
That's a good question. What were the cool things I saw at Toy Fair? Well, I saw a bunch of cool stuff from A&A. They had a bunch of, they had some of this on display at their booth at Asmodee, which was really cool.
Cool.
I saw, man, as far as on the gaming side, there's a lot of cool miniatures coming out from WizKids with their D&D line.
Yep.
There was some cool stuff coming from Gale Force 9. Has some cool terrain that they're coming out with.
Oh, okay.
That could be compatible to some games that we might be looking at, like maybe even right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So that was kind of cool.
They always do nice stuff.
They do. And, man, what were some of the other good things that I saw as far as on the gaming side? There was actually quite a bit of cool stuff. There's some stuff that I was told that I can't talk about.
Oh, okay.
In regards to a couple companies.
Right.
But they will be announced really soon, and when they are announced, I will be, like, I'm going to become a super chatterbox about the content because it's super cool stuff. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be really neat. I can't even tell you who the two companies are that I spoke to. That's what sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I know. But they're very popular, and everybody likes them, so
okay.
It'll be fine.
Cool. Okay, so this one here is kind of interesting because it's so looking at the instructions, just glancing over here, looks like we should be here. This goes in here, and that all connects to this piece here. So we can get the.
What's up, Steve, Mel, and Hagar, Manto Celeste?
If we can maybe get a front shot there, Johnny. Yeah. So we can have it sort of fairly low, like that, or we could have it quite tall.
Ooh, that's imposing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
You like that?
I do.
So we got options. We got options. So I'm just gonna go through and glue the pieces on that we know aren't going to move around. So there's a section at the back here. Sure I'm getting this right.
And one of the reasons we wanted to do these builds on camera today is to show you guys that these are not difficult models to put together.
Yeah.
And once they're put together, you don't necessarily have to paint them to play with them.
This is true. Well, they're all gray plastic. Mm-hmm. Imperial vehicles and Imperial troops will come with gray bases, like a darker gray bases, and all the Rebel troops and vehicles come with the brown bases. So it'd be pretty easy to tell who's who at a glance on the tabletop.
And you're right into the game.
But not painting your miniatures.
Well, you know.
I can't believe you just suggested that.
I'm just saying, if you really are excited about the gameplay.
Yeah, you can get into it straight away without a doubt.
Yeah. And then you absolutely need to come back and paint them.
Yeah. Thank you. I feel better now.
All right. I knew you would. I knew it.
Okay. I've got 2 weapon mounts there.
Very interesting.
Nice. Okay. This isn't going to tell you how to build yours.
It's not. I'm just looking at it because it's like, there's just so much to it. And then once they're all put together, they just look phenomenal. And I just want to like play with them right now. One of the cool things about the Airspeeder too is it comes with 2 weapon systems. It has the AX-188 ground buzzer and the MA or MODK power harpoon, which are represented in these 2 little guns here.
Yeah. I'll check those under.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah. So you can see those, and they're interchangeable.
They look tiny there, but that's because Rick's hands are huge.
That's also true. All right.
I think if we go for this tall build, I'm going to be smacking right against the... look at that.
Yes. That is amazing.
Yeah. I don't know. Part of me's feeling that's a bit extreme. Yeah?
I guess.
Yeah. That's... when your AT-ST is taller than your pint glass.
Wow.
Like considerably taller. So.
Oh. It looks like it's wearing heels.
Does it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try and pick the height. What height should we go for?
Okay. Well, maybe to where it's just under this at the top of it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We want to just kick that leg out in the front so it's dancing.
Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby. Hello, my ragtime gal.
So something around that height?
Yeah.
I think.
And it still gives you a good representation as to how big that model is compared to the trooper models.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Actually, I'm going to pull out the AT-RT. Let's have a look at that.
It's like, why even try? That guy is going to get you.
Sorry.
That almost sounded legit.
Yeah?
Very,
Not at all.
what? Yeah.
Just making fun of me.
I'm not.
Okay. So, one question I do have about Toy Fair,
Yeah.
so I keep coming back to it, is did you get to see the sail barge?
By Whiskets?
Hasbro. Yeah.
Oh, Hasbro? No.
Jabba's sail barge. Did
Nope.
you see that they announced
I saw that they have this thing where they're going to be doing like some sort of funding.
I think they're doing some crowdfunding for it.
Crowdfunding
Yeah.
for Hasbro.
I know.
Very weird.
But I must admit, I'm not too stressed on the method at the moment. But
Yeah.
a 4 foot long sail barge.
Yeah,
sounds
it's pretty.
cool.
It's a pretty big playset.
Yeah.
Randall says, "Hey, how's it going? Do you think it will work with the AT-AT that came out a few years ago?" Randall, this is a totally different scale to what the AT-AT. I believe did Imperial Assault come out with a?
Oh no, I don't think he's talking about the Imperial Assault ad.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about the.
Because This will not.
One of the
It's
toys.
not compatible at all as far as to scale.
Yeah, it's not compatible with Imperial Assault from Fantasy Flight Games.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it might scale well with some of the toys. Some of the big, crazy, like Hasbro toys. Was it Hasbro? Yeah, Hasbro toys.
Hey, James is there. Dan Spitzer says, hello from Brazil. I don't understand. I can't. It's in Spanish, I believe. Hola
Portuguese.
do Brasil, você são incríveis.
Portuguese.
That's Portuguese. Okay, you read it.
I didn't say I could read Portuguese. I just said that I'm aware that Brazilians speak Portuguese.
Don't they also speak Espanol?
Some of them might.
Hola do Brasil, vocês são incríveis. To me, it says, looks incredible. That's what I'm guessing. Am I right?
I would guess that too.
Yeah? How much for the couch? Yeah. Where are those guys at? I miss those guys.
I do not miss those guys.
Oh, WotC put out an AT-AT for their Star Wars Miniatures game years ago.
Oh,
yeah, they are absolutely not going to be compatible.
Yeah.
Can you measure how high is the AT-ST? We sure can. As a matter of fact.
Well, oh, where'd that tape measure go?
Right here.
Okay.
Up.
So it can't, well, actually, pull out a little bit more. Thank you.
All right.
Sorry, I have to hold this because I'm gluing the feet down. I think it went up, it could be as tall as about 12 and a half, 13 inches.
Yeah.
The way that we're going to configure these legs now, it will be, I'll hold that in place.
I will.
I only have so many arms.
Ridiculous.
I know, I should have ordered more. It's going to be about 8.5, 9 inches tall. So there's a lot of flexibility. I mean, this could go lower, but I think that's going to be great. But yeah, so you've got a lot of flexibility as to how you pose it, which is pretty cool. And I think we're going to go like that. It also has. How many weapon systems did you say that one had?
This has 2 weapon systems, the harpoon and the buzzer.
2 weapon systems.
Yeah.
This one has 3. Oh, plus the guns on the chin turret.
Right. And it has on the side, right?
So on the side, it has the AT-ST mortar launcher.
Jesus.
Hooray! It has the twin light, the 88 twin light blaster cannon, which is this one.
That's ridiculous.
Yep. And it has this little one, which is the DW3 concussion grenade launcher.
DW3.
DW3 concussion grenade launcher. What it also has are these little, these little sort of hex bolts that can push into the side. We'll let that dry there and pull this in. So you can fit these in on the side there. They just slide in and you're good to go.
Okay.
So that's cool. You can take them out. You can pop in your... Oh, no, actually. I wonder. Do I need... Let me check. It doesn't show that I have to do that, but it looks like for one of these, for the mortar launcher, you need to glue this to one of these hex bolts. So I'm just going to trim that up. But all of these slide in to the side here nice and easily. Okay. So if you want to have a fixed weapon system on there, you could do that.
Oh, cool.
Or if you want to just get it stuck nice and tightly in there, you could do that as well. But yeah, so I think looks like you've got flexibility to put in different weapon systems, obviously. but you could have one. I think you could have one weapon system, maybe two.
That's ridiculous.
It seems like it. I think you've got the cards for the.
I do. Yeah.
Set there. So.
Let me grab those. So inside the box, with the different models here, it comes with these little like tokens. Okay, under here.
Yep.
Okay, so these tokens. All right. And also more cards. So let's pop those out and we'll go through the cards for the AT-ST real quick.
Cool.
All right. So the tokens are there. So the big card here absolutely shows the AT-ST. And it says armor while defending. Arsenal 2, while attacking, each mini in this unit can use up to 2 of its weapons. Weak point 1 rear, so anything behind it gets some advantage to fighting it right there.
Yep.
All right. And see, does it look better on that camera?
On the front cam?
Yeah, you can see it a little better.
Yep.
So it has all sorts of information on the card. We're going to be doing a play of this game on the 28th, so next Wednesday.
Right here.
Paul Butler and Jeff Hall.
Excellent.
Will be coming to the studio, and you are more than welcome to come as well. And
Maybe.
we'll be doing a play test and show some demos of Star Wars Legion. And then also inside there...
Pass me that card.
Yeah, absolutely. Are the AT-ST mortar launchers, which are a fixed front weapon system, right there, and suppressive, and these are very tiny cards. The DW3 concussion grenade launcher, all right, instead of the WD-41, which is more loose and...
It's quite lubricated, yes.
This is also fixed front with a blast. Then we have the, what is that, the 88 twin or the BB twin blaster cannon. Has impact and is a fixed front weapon system. General Ice. Hello, General Ice. So you got your pilot or commander of the machine. Was that long-range comlink? It's kind of neat. And also comms jammer, which is nice.
Yeah. Yep. I think comms jammer seems to be a fairly popular one.
In the gameplay?
Fairly common one.
Okay.
Because we've seen quite a few units now have that as an option.
Yes.
So I think, yeah, getting forward and disrupting your opponent's lines is what that's all about, obviously. But, yeah, fortunately, I spotted it before I let the glue go too far.
All right.
But it looks like this actually just affixes to the side.
Right there.
Of the AT-ST. And then you've got the flexibility to whether you want to go with the blaster or the and the concussion grenades or something else.
That is awesome.
So what we'll do is I will glue this to the side of the maybe you call the top part. What's this going to be? The turret, the body.
The body?
We'll glue the mortar launcher to it, but we won't glue the other weapons. So we'll paint them all up, but we'll send them to our prize winners separately. That's right. I said prize winner.
Prize winner. Let's see this real quick here.
Would you like to tell people what they can win?
I would love to tell everybody what they could win. If you go to our Game Trade Media Facebook page and check out the pinned topic or comment on the page, you're going to see that there is a contest there where if you do some entry points, like subscribe to our YouTube, like follow us on Twitter, all that, those are entries into the contest in which one lucky winner will receive all of the Wave 1 Star Wars Legion by Fantasy Flight Games components.
Yep.
You're getting the whole
shebang.
Whole shebang, kit and caboodle, the whole thing for Star Wars Legion.
The whole 9 yards.
Painted by Dave and myself and a couple other guests that we'll have on here. We've had Drew Carrington already. And I believe...
We've got Jeff Jenkins coming in this Thursday.
This Thursday.
Yep. I made sure I primed Darth Vader specifically
Nice.
Ready for that. So
yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
So we've got Darth Vader ready to go. And so he's going to be painting Darth Vader, and I'll be painting Luke Skywalker.
It's kind of cool. I saw in the Star Wars Legion group an individual who got commissioned by Asmodee France to paint this for them.
Yeah.
He had painted his Luke Skywalker, and you could see the glow of the blue on his side of his face and arm. It was
very cool.
It was very nice. He did a very good job. So if you're in the Star Wars Legion group and you haven't seen that particular post yet, you should check it out. The guy did an amazing job on those pieces.
Yeah, definitely awesome. One thing I didn't show before, because I got excited and stuck it on the
as
body,
we do
the body beforehand, was the sort of the chin turret mount. So there are the two, the twin blaster cannon. You can see up close on one of the can. There we go. Okay, cool. So this one here, that's all sort of one piece. That's how it comes in the out of the bags. So everything's really super crisp on it, which is nice. And then this mount here, oops, put it upside down. So you just slide that in there. I'm going to leave that sort of free moving.
Okay.
So that you'll have a little bit of that toy aspect.
Yeah. So when you're modeling up and you're like, oh no, I can hit you because my turret
gotcha. Goes down.
Pew pew. Right.
Exactly.
That's all I can think about when I'm sitting here with this Airspeeder. I'm just like going, the flaps are up slow, bringing it down for turn purposes and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm done. I'm as far as I can go today. How far in are we? Dang it, half hour.
I'm almost done.
I know you are. It's great. So with the Airspeeder, like we said, it has two different weapon systems, and much like you're thinking, we'll just leave those separate, paint them, so that you can, whoever the lucky winner is, can add them as he wishes or she wishes.
Have a close look at that. Yeah. I'll have to find some of those tiny magnets.
For these as well?
Yeah. This one, the push fit on the side of these is pretty, I think it's pretty sturdy.
Okay.
It's not going to come out. This one is a little bit looser, so having a little bit of some glue, like a magnet down the bottom of that and on the bottom of the post here.
Nice.
Will really help that out. But that's absolutely tiny.
It is.
It's going to be a crazy small magnet.
So put that back in the box there. And what I wanted to do with that was also show off the cards that come with the Airspeeder. You're going to really enjoy this one because I know pew, 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 pew. It's pretty cool. Again, it comes with the little discs and everything that you would get right there, all your punch outs. All right. And then the cards for this are really cool. You get the actual T-47 Airspeeder card right there with all of its stats and information. And on the other side, there's some other intel as well. And a really nice art of the Airspeeder there. Now here's what makes it super cool. It comes with Wedge Antilles. As we all know, Wedge is in all three of the original series of Star Wars. He's in New Hope, Empire, and Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
However, it's a different actor.
It is? You went and checked it?
Yeah. In the second and third movies, or technically fifth and sixth.
Right. Okay.
And then we've got long range comm links again. Yeah, it does seem like a pretty popular one. Long range comm links. The comms jammer is also in this. We also have the MODX power harpoon, which we all know is the weapon of choice when taking out AT-ATs, and probably some AT-STs as well.
Yeah.
If you can jumble up their ability to move.
Hell, logs are the favorite weapon for taking out AT-STs.
Logs indeed. Then we have the, what is this, the Yeah, the AX-188 ground buzzer, which looks like some sort of rapid fire fixed rear weapon system, kind of like almost like a Gatling laser gun, but without the the spinner Gatling look.
Right. Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
Definitely good. So I would guess the blaster would be, or the ground buzzer would be great for anti-infantry, and the harpoon for any vehicles.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. The harpoon, it looks like it has. I don't know what any of the assemblage means yet, as we haven't had an opportunity to play, but is 1, 2, and then a 1 red star, whereas the ground buzzer has 1, 2, and 4 black.
Oh, the diamonds.
Diamonds, yep. Which
so
probably represent ammunition.
Yep, that'd be 4 black dice, 4 black attack dice.
Oh,
you get to roll, and that would be 1 red dice.
There we go. He knows it.
And because it's diamond shape, I'm guessing it would also be that would be, you'd use the 8-sided die.
Oh, okay.
So,
nice.
Which is pretty neat. There's a little
Boom.
pack, a bonus pack.
Of dice.
So you get, basically these are all the dice that come in the core box set.
Plus an extra set.
Wave 1 has the extra set coming out. Because I think as you grow the size of your units, you're going to be rolling more dice. So,
sure. Yeah, that makes total sense.
So having a second set will make it really easy and keep the game rolling a lot faster. You don't have to just roll 2 sets of dice.
So let's take a look what this will look like on its stand. What?
I'm going to glue this.
Oh, that looks beautiful. I'm going to put it up front here so you can get a better peek at it. Yes. Death from above.
Nice.
Yeah, I think once painted, that is going to be an amazing looking model.
Yep.
No doubts. That's what everybody's got to say in the chat. We haven't really been talking to you guys. I apologize. Let's see what we got here. Wow, there's a lot. Paul Salecki, can you measure how high is the AT-ST? We got that already.
Yep.
Dan says, Brasileiro now falo Espanol, falamos Portuguese. Okay. It's not Espanol, it's Portuguese. Randall Porter,
who could have ever known that?
You. I probably should have known it. Randall says, do you think you're going to have to pin the feet?
No.
No?
No. I think you could pin the feet if you wanted to, but yeah, there we go. That
is sick.
That's it standing there. I went for a slightly jaunty angle on the.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Cockpit, so.
My cousin Justin says, well, that was easy.
Yeah, well, you can go home now.
Paul says, good size. So the AT around 20 inches will be good as terrain piece. Probably. A 20-inch.
Oh, the 20-inch
AT?
Yeah.
Would be a pretty decent terrain piece. Chris Cox says, okay, that's cool. James says, looks like a friction fit, so swappable.
Oh, for and
the weapon systems.
Yeah, yep. For the definitely for the 2 on the side. So the twin blaster and the concussion grenades.
And James says both legs also should be reverse articulated like a bird, which they are. My cousin said, well, that's what she said. Thanks, Justin. Those cards look tiny in your hand. They are tiny, Justin. They're very small anyways. They'd be tiny in your hand too. James, depends on the outfit. On the miniature, any outfit up to Jedi should be blue, then green. I don't know what that means. Oh, about the lightsabers?
Okay. Lightsabers.
Okay. I believe the colors of the blade reflect the area of expertise and order of Jedi, not the rank. Blade color is a personal choice. I think what I've seen is the Legion lightsaber for Luke is blue.
Yep.
And of course red for Vader.
Yeah, basically, I think the image of him, the fatigues that he appears to be in are from his sort of Dagobah. It's from Empire.
Okay, like the Browns.
The Browns, yeah, the khaki. Mm-hmm. Khaki, however you want to pronounce that. But yeah, that sort of approach. So not until Jedi was when he had his
black costume,
black outfit and green lightsaber.
Let's put these next to each other for size reference, and also we can show how they differ in regards to the actual troopers again.
Face off. There we go.
It's ridiculously cool. Look at those. Oh, and the AT-RT. It's so sad. It's so sad. Yeah.
We're at the point now where I just want to start playing with all the toys.
God, that looks so good. All right, so some things that we need to discuss then now is, now that we've put together the Airspeeder and the AT-ST, what kind of prime scheme would you go with these?
Scheme for these? I think probably for both of them, I would go with a initial black prime. Okay. Then for the AT-ST, I'd probably hit it with do a zenithal prime of a like a mid gray.
Oh, okay.
So I think GW has a Mechanicum standard gray. I think Testers probably has a gray, mid gray spray. Vallejo does some fantastic airbrush primer sprays. I'd go for basically, just go for a mid gray there, and then probably a light gray or a white for the speeder primer over the black.
Kind of another zenithal.
Another zenithal kind of thing. Okay. Something like the Corax white from GW is pale. Right. White, it's pale grey. It's not a complete white. Because then from there you can just pick out the your metallic parts or other parts that aren't going to be the white. Have you got the box there? I'll have a quick look at it.
Sure.
So, yeah, a lot of the elements are white, and but yeah, you can pick out the other bits and pieces, sort of some of the engine parts at the back and so on. Okay. In black and paint them up with a dark metallic or highlight the black with a grey. Okay. And then either go with like a red or I'd really like to go with an orange.
For the stripe?
For the stripe, yeah, like a rusty orange. Okay. Kind of. Yeah. Patterning. I think it's going to pop a little bit better. And then on the box there, they've got a little bit of a blue tint to the windows. So I think we can do some really cool work on the windows there. Okay. And that blue will work well against the orange.
Oh, okay. Color wheel.
With cool. The AT-ST, I think we'd come back with, probably want to do some airbrushing for a lighter grey.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And just sort of hit the top of the panels, edge of these panels, that sort of thing. Then go and pick out all the parts that we want to have black, so the silver parts, that sort of thing. So there's quite a few bits of cabling underneath. Let me just turn this around. You can see at the back there. So it's hanging just under here, some cabling. Yep. Also at the front, underneath that gin turret, there's more cabling there. So a lot of places that we've got some black cabling to sort of pick out. Okay. And then, I think then sort of weather the two of them up, get some chipping, so do some sponge chipping on them.
Who is it that you said that has a real good metallic chipping technique? One of the...
Oh, when Jeff comes in on Thursday, we can talk to him about that. Okay. Jeff Jenkins runs he does some fantastic work with micro detailing. Okay. It's kind of called. So little tiny chips on armor plates and that kind of thing. Okay. Scratches and dings and ways to paint those. Okay. So yeah, we could have a chat with him about that. Jeff runs a class at Adepticon. Okay. On micro detailing. Which
so
is
if
cool.
You're at Adepticon, which you'll be at,
Yep.
And it's also the launch weekend for Star Wars Legion, ask the questions. Run up to him. Run up to Dave. If you see Dave at Adepticon, run up to him and be like, Dave, I got questions.
I got questions.
And
all
then,
the questions.
And I'm sure at Adepticon, you sit in on the class that Jeff will hold and learn how to do all these amazing little...
You have to buy tickets for that one. For Jeff's, because it's so cool. Registration, online registration, pre-registration for Adepticon ends in about a week, I think.
Okay.
Or just under a week. So go to adepticon.org if you want to check that out. See if Jeff has any spots left in his class.
Sounds like it would be absolutely worth the ticket, though.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah, definitely.
So,
I think there's a huge amount of classes being run this year. I think it's like 80 or 90 classes.
Oh,
so definitely cool. Jeff isn't running all of those. But
sure.
He's running a couple. But Thursday and Friday morning at Adepticon, I'll be helping out with the Star Wars Legion, sort of get your models assembled and ready for the tabletop. Because so that's from 10 till noon, and then from noon onwards, noon till 4 or 5 or something like that. There's a gaming activities with the Legion stuff. So
make sure you check out Adepticon if you haven't decided.
Check it out, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be
They're
cool.
doing some cool, fun stuff. But yeah, so there are the things I'm thinking about with working on this. Because it's such a large model,
right?
You want to sort of work out ways to get depth into your painting. I mean, there's a lot of depth on the miniature already, but you just want to enhance that.
Right, and it looks like, one of the things, because I painted the one from Imperial Assault,
Yep.
and there are a lot of large flat spots that can be, unimpressive when I paint it, because I don't know how to put depth on something. Like on the sides there, you can see right next to the turret back here that there is a large flat panel, the very front, below the observatory panels is a large flat panel. How does one give that depth and character? Would it be in those micro?
In the micro details, little different bits and pieces, some possibly some freehand work.
Okay.
Generally, it's kind of a tough thing with a large panel. Let me start. Let me go back.
Sure.
With a small panel, you want to have it go from you want to have it shaded from a dark color to a light, a dark tone to a light tone.
Okay.
And you can do that fairly quickly on something like the Stormtroopers, and go from that like mid-gray through to white.
Okay.
Really quickly on those panels, and you do it in like 3 or 4 layers. Something that is this size, it can look odd. If you do if you do that normal, do the same layering as you do on the Stormtroopers, you'll get that sort of lined gradation, and you don't really want that.
Okay.
So the idea is just to guide the eye away from it.
Okay.
So you don't want people looking at that big flat panel. You want people looking at the front, because it kind of looks a bit like a face.
Right.
It's been done deliberately to look like a face.
Right.
So you can focus on that. That's where you sort of want to be looking. So what we do here is we have on the side panel up here. I'll just turn that back around. At the top here, we'd have basically the lighter airbrush, the pale grey airbrush.
Okay.
We'd pick out these little pieces here, and then underneath that panel, in that sort of recess there, we'd make sure that it's nice and shaded, and same as around the weapon mount there.
Okay.
So that we get that panel popping out a little bit.
One of the things, while we're sitting here talking about this, and I'm thinking is like, when you guys are painting, what kind of, and looking at these, and if you don't have them yet, obviously, what are your thoughts on you're customizing your miniatures so that this is mine, this is my my force, and I'm sitting there going, I can guarantee someone's gonna do little rebel symbols for every battle that they win as an Imperial force on the side of their
kill markings?
Yeah, kill markings on the side of their
Sure.
machine there, and then on the front flat face panel, they're gonna, you know, like what hockey players do with their masks, you know, put this fearful look on there. I can see people doing it, and it's gonna look awesome.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think there's a great place to put those kill markings because you're like, I'm gonna get loads of them. I've got loads of space here.
Right.
Rather than
then I'll have 2.
Yeah. I wouldn't start them in the middle of the panel. I'm going to turn this back around again. I wouldn't start them in the middle of the panel here because that will attract attention to the middle.
Okay.
So I'd probably start along the bottom of it, and because it's going to be a fairly light gray at that point. After the black, then the mid gray, and then a lighter gray. I'd paint those in black.
Okay.
So they're not too stark, and they're not a different color to other things on it. So it looks sort of fairly consistent.
Okay.
I'd probably have these little pieces here be silver.
The little, like, what look like almost like a little exhaust.
Yeah, the tiny little pieces up here. Yeah. I'm not sure what purpose they serve, but I'd have those be silver, and then I'd have some little bit of like oil or grime sort of streaking.
Sure.
Come down from those.
Okay.
So they're just things that start to work in from the edges of that panel to make that panel appear smaller, but not directly attract attention to it.
That was one of the things that when I was painting the other one, on the back side, you see that the engines on this machine, on the AT-ST here, they have the rotors and everything.
Yep, the fans.
The fans. And I was trying to do some sort of, grime effect there as well.
Right. Yep.
To show that there was some sort of exhaust, because I don't believe on the Imperial Salt one that it had the lower exhaust ports that this has.
But
which, again, will look really cool with adding that like effect to make it look like it has been used, that there is grime, there is carbon buildup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you want. You want carbon scoring, right?
Yeah.
So you can clean it off.
Absolutely.
When Uncle Owen tells you to. That's just some of the things that I'd go through and do. I'd do something similar around here. This is probably air recirculators at the back here, up on the turret or the head. And then this part here
is the exhaust out.
Would be the exhaust from the this engine body in here.
Nice.
So yeah, on the front here with that big panel, this is where I'd look at the sort of these areas along the side. Oop, make it, there we go. Along the side here. Doing it back to front and reversed is terrible. So along those edges there is where I do the chipping and detailing to again make that front panel seem less flat and less large. Just bring it in smaller.
Dan asks, Dave, how is the detail on these miniatures in comparison to other ranges?
These are really well detailed. I think some of them have sort of a bit more detail than some of the Games Workshop miniatures I've worked on recently. The AT-RT, for example, down here, has got a lot of great detail and sort of focus on the legs. The crispness of the casting is really what's impressing me.
Right.
But yeah, they definitely stand up against a lot of other models.
Right.
The Rebels look great.
Yeah.
I think everything's cool. I am quite impressed. Normally, you'd have to go to sort of hard plastic, the polystyrene plastic, to get this sort of detail. So ranges like Malifaux from Weird Miniatures, they have loads of detail and very crisp detail because it's all in that polystyrene. This plastic isn't that, but this is probably some of the best that I've seen from the sort of the hard plastic that isn't polystyrene. Okay. So yeah, super impressed.
Griffin, I'll come back to your question in a second. James says, don't forget the blaster marks across the front.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he also said, you got to go. Got to go back to work. So, James, if you've already gone back to work, hope you have a great day. Yep. Simon Swan says, is the port at the top swappable to facilitate a character model or even Chewie popping out of the top? It is not. Which isn't to say that someone might do some customizations, cut through it. but it is not.
It doesn't come that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. The head essentially comes as one sort of a fixed piece. I'm not sure. It does seem like they might have missed a trick there, but I'm not going to go down that path too quickly. I think that there's possibility for later for there to be a character swap out, like basically release an AT-ST that is it is a character one, or one that has a Chewie model that pops out the top.
Sure.
I think there's definitely loads of opportunity for that sort of thing in a later wave. So.
Simon also asks, what is on your list for future commanders? Han, Lando, Obi-Wan? Oh, yeah. I mean, I know Leia has already been announced.
Yep.
And who was the other one?
General Veers.
General Veers, yeah. You failed me for the last time, Admiral Piet. I like that. Hopefully he shows up.
Yep.
Just so he can get choked out. But I want to see Lando. I want to see Boba Fett. I would love to see Jabba in some capacity in this with Dengar and IG-88.
And Bosk. Forlom.
Forlom, yeah. All the assassins and bounty hunters.
All those bounty hunters.
Yeah. Great. I would love to see the Star Wars Rebels characters, Phoenix Squadron. That's the animated show that's on Disney XD.
Yeah,
I watched the last episode last night. Got a little bit of a tear because something happened, and I'm not going to talk about it yet. But it was
spoilers.
It was really good. And then Griffin Sky asks, "What are your opinions on the latest Star Wars movies?" Griffin, if you were to go back and watch any number of our previous episodes, you would find out our opinions on that.
Yep.
But in short, I love them because I like the idea of there being a Star Wars movie in my generation, or in my lifetime again, where I get to go to the theater at least once a year and sit down and enjoy a universe.
Enjoy the Star Wars world.
Yeah.
Yep. I also enjoyed them, so I haven't had a problem at all.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Rogue One.
Yes.
It was great.
I think this facilitated Rogue One in some capacity, or Rogue One facilitated this. That there was there already was a need for a ground skirmish game for Star Wars.
Sure.
But after watching Rogue One, that was a ground skirmish.
There were quite a few. Well, certainly the battle at the end was a large scale.
Yeah.
Sort of
so
battle.
I want to now that throws out there shore troopers, death troopers.
Yep.
I want to see who was the blind martial artist character's name.
I can't remember.
I don't want to open up my app because I have him in my game in my Star Wars Galaxies. He's just not at one of my top tier levels yet. Someone in the chat. If you remember, it was like Uwe or Imwe. I can't remember what it was. Him and the Hispanic character with the Gatling blaster thing. Those two would be great ground force troops.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. That would be awesome. But no, I enjoyed them as well. So I think we both had a great time.
Yeah. There's so much cool stuff in regards to the Star Wars universe that they can pull from to expand on this game. And again, this is just wave one. I
know. There's some great stuff here.
Yeah.
And it's the core building blocks. There's things you want to take from there. Everybody wants to have one of these.
Oh my God, yes. They're so good.
Absolutely insane. This, I got to tell you, this actually surprised me, having the speeder in there.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't either, because again, it is a ship, but it's not a spaceship.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it makes total sense. Mm-hmm. I'm absolutely fine with it being there, but I just wasn't expecting it.
I'm hoping that there will be
other
pilots, so you can actually table a force, like squadron.
Sure. Oh, with like named.
Yeah. So you could have Wedge in one, Luke in another. You know, Pilot Luke or whatever they would call him at that point.
Right.
Who else was one of the pilots from like Hoth? You know, they had like 4 or 5. So if you could put together a 5-ship squadron, I don't even know how many points that would be. What is the points for this?
Point value on that one. What's the points value? Oh, the point value on the AT-ST, 195.
Jeez. That's crazy.
How's that compare to some of the others?
Where is the...
Oh, did you check it out and look at it already?
175. Right
175 right? For the Airspeeder?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So that would be like if you wanted to put down a freaking 1,000 point army or force, and you just wanted to go all airspeeders, you know?
Like 5 airspeeders?
5 airspeeders, yeah. It literally only...
Luke?
One of them being Luke, so then your pilot would have to have That's another good question.
We're all excited now.
We need X-Wings and TIE Fighters this scale. I don't disagree with you, but I think that'll be a whole different game.
Yeah.
I want to see if the pilot has his own point value, and we know that Wedge was the pilot for this one. And that's not a point value, is it, for it?
No. What?
Is that a victory point, maybe?
No, it's probably a point value.
All right, so
it's the same background as the points value.
Oh, it is, yeah.
So.
All right, so it'd be 175 plus 5, so 180.
180
just
for
to field
Wedge.
Wedge as the pilot for that. So
Right, still cheaper than the AT-ST.
Yeah, it is. That's true.
These chin guns. There we go. Blast you out of the sky. Stormtroopers, 4 Stormtroopers, 44 points. Darth Vader. Oh, 198 points for the AT-ST. 200 points for Darth Vader. Yep.
I mean, I can see it because he should be able to force crush an AT-ST.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, wow, what's his name in the what was the video game with Star Killer? Do you remember the name of the video game there, Johnny?
Was it The Force Unleashed?
Force Unleashed. Yes. I want to say in the second or the first or second one, I can't remember which one. Star Killer brings a Star Destroyer out of the freaking space.
Yeah.
Like this crashes it. It was in the second one.
Right.
So Vader is way stronger than that. He should be able to just go and just ball it up.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Right.
Right?
The AT-RT is 55 points.
That seems right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, no.
You're not going to argue that?
No, that seems right.
Rebel Troopers are 40 points for 4.
For 4?
Yep.
Okay.
So
That's not bad.
Luke Skywalker, 160.
Okay.
So Luke and 4 Rebel Troopers.
There's
your Vader.
Yeah. That's crazy. Cheer it. Cheer
cool.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
Cheer it in Mue and Bays Malbus. Thanks, Nick and Simon. Everybody, that was awesome. We need X-Wings. Hey, what's up, Jason? Yeah, there's a lot of options because, again, this is your building block to the game, so you're going to have potential for a lot of cool expansions to come out with it.
Yep.
And I know for a fact that Fantasy Flight has some really cool stuff coming up. They're not one of the companies that gave me some inside news for the future, but I can tell you that they do have some good stuff coming. And if you go to fantasyflight.com or fantasyflightgames.com and check out the website, you're going to learn even more. Just do a web search for Star Wars Legion. So many things out there that you can learn about. I know, it's awesome. It's so good.
Like a 10-year-old kid again.
And for everybody that's already had an opportunity to play test this at your local retailer, because some of the local retailers out there do have demo sets available to be played at their store, go play it and tell us what you think about it. In the Star Wars Legion group, I know some people have talked about some stuff that with the 500 points, tabling a 500-point army, where Vader is one of the leads on their table. Once they've played, they've had some difficulty with that because after like round 1,
right,
it's down to Vader and one other guy usually.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
It's very difficult because from what everybody's saying is it literally just becomes a shoot 'em up game. And there are actual components in the game that are like missions,
right?
That you're, campaign missions that you're supposed to, or objectives to gain points for winning and everything. And a lot of people are forgetting about those missions because it just becomes a shoot 'em up, event.
Missions in any war game or like scenarios are super important. Being able to follow those, understand what you need to do to achieve victory, and keeping that in the forefront of your brain is important. I know personally I tend to forget what the objectives are and rush headlong forward and
shoot 'em up.
Well, get shot up.
Sure.
But there's also the potential there that that they need a little bit more terrain.
I agree.
So light cover, heavy cover,
right.
Terrain on the battlefield. It's something we haven't really seen a lot of yet, and I think it'll take a sort of a couple of months for everything to settle into what's the right amount of terrain.
Sure.
What's a comfortable amount, which will really be determined by the player base at large, the community at large will sort of have a good idea of sort of how that's going to end up.
Lance DeBoyle, welcome. Great show. How long have you guys been doing this for? Oddly, March 1st will be our 100th episode, so stay tuned for that. We've been going at this since last January 2017.
Yep.
You've been with us since November.
Beginning of, early November.
Early November, and so we've been going at it for a while now, and we hope to be continuing it for a long time to go forward in the futures.
Long time to come.
In advance.
There we go.
Of us. That way.
As long as people keep watching, it'll be all good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, this started out as Rick with his phone propped up against his computer, painting at his lunch desk. Painting at his desk at lunch.
Yeah, taking my lunch, and then that lasted three episodes, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the first episode, my phone couldn't handle all the people that were watching. The second episode, kind of the same issue. Third episode, we actually brought in our mobile studio equipment and set it up in my office. And again, it was too much for that.
Right. Yep.
As far as like the internet and everything working with it. And then my boss, Josh, just said, you know what, we have this studio literally across the hall from you. This seems to have some traction. Let's give it a shot in studio.
You could maybe go and sit down there at lunch. And
yeah. And he said, you don't even have to waste your lunch. We can do it during the workday. I'm like, what? Paint during work? All right.
Rick, you are living the dream.
I am living the dream.
Living the dream.
All right, so that's pretty much our episode today, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you so much for joining us today in building the AT-ST and the T-47.
T-47?
Airspeeder. Yep. We will be painting them on a future episode because on Thursday we have Dave and his friend Jeff.
Yep, Jeff Jenkins.
Jeff Jenkins will be coming in, and they'll be painting Vader and Luke.
Yeah, be pretty exciting. I think I might take Luke home and get some stuff on him beforehand.
Okay.
Get like his fatigues painted, then I can just finish off his face and his hair, and then Jeff can show us how to do the object source lighting, which is the exciting part, the glowing lightsabers and the.
It's gonna be pretty cool.
The light thrown around by those. So.
And while they're doing that, I'm probably gonna work on my stormtroopers to get those guys done.
He's got a few to do.
I gotta finish up my troopers. But on a more serious note, go to your local game store. Check out the community that is right there for you, near you, and if they have painting going on there, join them, ask questions, or if you are that painter, go there and show people. Teach the trade, get more people involved.
Yep.
Play all the games that they have.
All of them.
We recommend all the games, and just become part of the community as you are a part of our community, and we thank you for letting us be a part of yours. On that note, I'm Rick.
And I'm Dave.
And we will see you at the game store.
Thanks for watching Painting Happy Little Minis. If you liked it, leave a like and a comment below and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any new content.